Hello, magic makers. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Leo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this reading is for you. A transmission through the Serpent Gate, a page in the Codex, and perhaps a message you were meant to remember. Before we begin, please light the fire and hit the like button. Every like you leave is a torch lit along the spiral road. Every comment is a sigil etched into the vault of echoes. And if this message resonates, consider subscribing and joining our journey through the temple. If there is anything you wish for me to hold in light or carry into the temple with you, prayer, protection, or intention, speak it below. Now, these readings are not predictions, they are transmissions, and I am merely the messenger. The meaning is yours to uncover. Open the temple within and listen for what echoes back, because the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with a Princess of Swords. This is a very studious energy. I feel like you're in like student mode, you know. You may be involved in new skills or new tasks or kind of training in something. It may just be a reflection of your very curious spirit, you know. I feel that you've been like digging deep into some knowledge for a long time, okay? Maybe it's kind of like an investigation kind of feeling, yeah. And I wonder if you're starting to wonder if you're ever going to really find what you're looking for. You know, sometimes this is a very, the curiosity in this card takes us to a lot of different rabbit holes, you know, going down a lot of different corridors, kind of searching for something, maybe searching for meaning, maybe searching for truth, okay? This is sometimes a card that is really talking about the Fool searching for that sense of meaning, the Fool kind of searching for the, I guess, you know, she's holding a sword, but searching for the clarity, searching for the Excalibur, you know, trying to find that sense of meaning and purpose, trying to find the truth, yeah. Sometimes this card is a person who is in a way defending something that they've already established when confronted with new facts, okay? So I feel that you are, you're a very like cerebral person right now. You're very much in your head about stuff, yeah. And I think that you've been kind of pushing forward, but in a way where your steps aren't very sure. You see the figure in this card is kind of on their back foot, almost in a defensive position, or kind of a, almost not so confident, yeah, but trying to push forward anyway. This is someone who is a white belt, you know, somebody who is just starting out in this class and doesn't yet have their confidence. So let's find out where you are and what you're doing. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. You've got a 9 of Pentacles, very interesting. We have an Ace of Pentacles. We have the 7, 7 of Pentacles. There's the Ace of Swords. There's the truth that you've been looking for. And we see a 10 of Cups. Wow, yeah. So everything is really going to start changing pretty quick for you, okay? The 9 of Pentacles is a card of gain, okay? And I think you're going to be gaining a lot of progress very soon. I feel like you are involved in some sort of a learning experience. And it may be a new skill. It may be you're learning how to play guitar. It may be that you're learning how to do those spreadsheets on the computer. I don't even know the formulas and stuff. You're doing something where it's like, you start off really not knowing a lot about it. But through trial and error, through making mistakes and learning and reading and asking questions and giving yourself room to fail, giving yourself permission to not know all the answers, that is allowing you to make rapid progress right now, okay? I think things are really going to start picking up. Let's look at the path of the Serpent. We have a Knight of Pentacles. We have the High Priestess, we have the Hierophant, and we have the Sun. Wow. Yeah, that is awesome. A lot of Earth energy today, right? Earth, Earth, Earth. Even the Hierophant is Earth. A lot of Earth cards. Yeah. I feel that you have made a choice to stay on this path. I think that You're going to continue to move forward. You're not going to stand still, even when you had the Seven of Pentacles, which is a card of failure. It's saying, I tried to do something, I fell down. You're getting up and you're going to keep going, because that's how you make progress. And I think your progress is going to start coming a lot faster than it has been. Okay. I think there is support, there is teaching, there is mentorship showing up for you. Though I don't think you want it, I think you need it. I think the small wins, it's it's kind of like when you're studying something or you're doing your math, and you're really bad at math, like I am. But when you do get something right, it's such a triumph. It's such a joy. I got one right, It took me all evening, but I finally solved that one equation. I remember how, me taking just the algebra classes I was taking and how difficult I found it. I'm really bad at math. But it's, those little wins feel so wonderful. But they stack, It builds momentum for you. Because that's one thing we need right now is fire. And I think what you're getting that solar fire, because you're getting some progress. You're starting to see that every step you take is a little win, and that's leading to a lot of this. You're generating a lot of light here. Okay, the small wins are going to create the bigger ones. Yeah, and I think that you're becoming more and more sure of the path you're on now. Yeah. But let's draw the hidden key from the codex, the unseen cipher, the one truth yet unrevealed. This is a card pulled at random, a fragment of the codex beyond the known spread. This represents the factor, we got some volunteers, a lot of volunteers. These represent the factor infinite and unknown, what the watchers have not yet allowed us to see. Now, we're not going to look at this hidden key until the very end of the reading. We're going to put Bubo, the mechanical owl, right there on top. Not going to release the Kraken until the end of the transmission, but when we do, it will bring all the threads together, confirm the prophecy, and close the current page of the Codex. If you feel the pulse of intuition, if the dove current is whispering to you, tell me what you sense, leave a comment. What do you think the hidden key will reveal? Now, as we look around the room, we've got to look at our volunteers, which we have a 3 of Wands, Queen of Cups, 6 of Cups, 4, and the Devil. Okay, quite a bit here. But I think this ultimately tells a story, okay? Because I feel that, your decision to take on this task or this path, to get on this road you're on now, which is a road where you're not familiar with the territory and you are going to make a lot of mistakes. You're learning something new. Let's say you're learning to play guitar. You're going to make a lot of mistakes, but this is kind of your desire to do it. That 3 of Wands saying, I want to do this, and I know it's going to be difficult, but I've got to try. Then you get this Queen of Cups, which is kind of like, you're sort of sitting back at the end of the day, and you're looking at your progress and thinking, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe this wasn't a good idea, right? Because I think we're kind of getting in our feelings about it. But then, of course, you get a 6 of Cups, which is some sort of a win, some sort of a recognition. The 6 of Cups feels like it's your instructor or your guitar teacher or whatever giving you a pat on the back and saying, that was good. You did well. That was really wonderful. And so that sort of feedback then gives you that joy, that pleasure of the 6 of Cups. And then what does that do? But it puts your mind at ease. It gives you this, now you have this kind of, it's almost a certainty. You're not stressed out about it anymore because you realize that, okay, I guess this is my path. Your mind's not going to be stewing over it anymore. And of course, the Devil here is your driving force. It's the motivation. So that cycle of trying, wondering if this is even meant for us and how we I think we get into our feelings when we get a 7 of Pentacles. When we try to do something and we get some kind of negative feedback where something is just no, that wasn't the right answer, our heart sinks a little bit. It's oh man, I wonder if I'm even cut out for this. I wonder if this is even for me, But then when we get the positive feedback, we get recognition. If something does go our way, or we get, we get some sort of confirmation or validation that we're right where we're supposed to be, that we're progressing exactly how we should. We get that sort of boost in our confidence, and that Devil card becomes your motivation, becomes your drive. And now we're hungry for it. I can't wait to go back tomorrow and do some more math homework, And so I like the cards that we have over here. I know it's a lot, but we'll leave them spread out over here so we can look at them. But otherwise, we've got three major arcana energies. Okay, the High Priestess, leading you to the right mentor, the right teacher. That's going to lead to an explosion of progress for you. It's going to be so quick that you're not going to even know what hit you. Okay, so I feel like progress maybe feels kind of slow here. All the earth energy on this side kind of feels weighed down. It feels a little slow. Yeah, I think your progress is going to accelerate big time. What we don't have is any fire, though, right? We got a little bit of fire here that says, hey, there was fire at first. There was an impulse to do this. Okay, something got you up off the couch where you said, hey, I know what I want to do. I want to go take a math class or something, right? So there was that impulse. And then, of course, what else are we missing from the path of the dove and the path of the serpent is, well, aside from this, there's not a lot of water. There's water in the future. There's an ideal of water. There's this feeling like, if I could just get good at it, it would feel so great to be that person. Like, this is who you want to be in the future, This is how you want your life to feel. Well, right now it doesn't feel that way because, well, you're sort of slowly making the progress, and we're starting to sort of question, with the Queen of Cups, wondering if this was a mistake, But then, of course, we get the Six of Cups, which is a nice addition to the suit of cups. We have air and air, and we have more air over here. And of course, we have all of our earth. This is some earth cards. Even the devil is an earth card. Okay? The devil kind of scooching out of the frame here. Let's see if I can fit everything in. There we go. Too many cards on the table today. But the Nine of Pentacles here, this is a progress multiplier, right? The nines are always compounding, the suit that it's in. So this is earth energy that is building upon itself. So to me, it feels like this is an abundance multiplier, a progress multiplier. This is the visual signs of progress. You're able to see it. There's some metric that you can trace. Okay, so it's basically Spirit saying the problem at first is that you're doing all this work. You don't feel like your line is going up and to the right. Kind of feel like we're putting in all this effort and we're not even moving the needle. We're not even pushing the football down the field at all. And so, of course, Queen of Cups comes in and says, this sucks. Like this, maybe I shouldn't be here. Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe guitar is not for me. Maybe math is not for me. Because the Nine of Pentacles is that's the problem. That's the blockage. That's why it's in position 2 of your spread right now. Because, this is the Codex way of saying that you're not seeing the progress that you expected. Does that mean you're going to quit? Okay. So your blockage right now is that you want to see movement. You want to see like the number going up. You want to see the line going up. You want to see the right kind of curve, You're at the gym. You want to see some sort of physical sign that you're doing better, that you're stronger, that you're healthier, that your muscles are getting bigger, And I think that with all the earth energy we have, the progress has been slow. It has been, kind of dragging to the point where you can't really see the progress that you're looking for, but you're trying to stay on that path anyway. You're doing your very best. Okay, you're searching for the truth or the confirmation or the reason why you should stay here. It's and that I feel like that's what the Princess of Swords is searching for, and there's the Ace of Swords that you're searching for, and this is the truth that this is the right path for you. That it is a journey. See, the 9 is all about the road. This is someone who is living that life, traveling that road. You're walking the spiral path, okay? The spiral road. And hoping it leads to this beautiful 10 of Cups, fulfillment, satisfaction, bliss, dream come true. But I feel like the Princess of Swords is starting to doubt this particular path, Okay? Looking for the Ace of Swords, looking for the confirmation from Spirit, from the Codex, from your true self, that yes, this is the journey for you, stick with it, and it will lead here. Okay? Trying to find justification, trying to find reasons, like give me a reason to stay on this path. Reassure me that it's going to bring me bliss and not the opposite of that, you know? Let me know that there's water. If I keep digging, there's water here. We want a 10 of Cups. We don't want a 10 of Swords. So we're kind of asking, and I feel like this is Spirit responding. This is the Codex telling you, yes, this full illumination, clarity, you're going to see that this is the right path for you. It is leading you to water and not the 10 of Swords, which would be the dry hole. It's not leading you to a dry hole. It's leading you to water. Okay? And so the Princess of Swords is kind of the, what is it, a dowsing rod, right? Trying to find water in the earth. And I feel like you're starting to wonder, is this thing even working? You know? And it is working, okay? But it makes sense that there's a little bit of doubt creeping in. Of course, you get the confirmation with the 6 of Cups, you get the 4 of Swords, which is no more doubt. The 4 of Swords is your mind is at rest. Okay? There's no stress now, and now it's just a matter of like, just your motivation is kicking in big time with that Devil card, okay? The Devil is a good card in this situation. Yeah. So anyway, 9 of Pentacles. Underneath the surface is this Ace. And this Ace is kind of what your soul is trying to tell you. This is our 3rd position, okay? This is the voice in the silence here coming from inside of your soul. And it's telling you, just take another step. You fell down, okay, fine, get up and keep going. Because what happens when you take a 7 and you add an Ace? Well, you get the 8 of Pentacles. And what is the 8 of Pentacles? Keep doing it, slow and steady, builds the thing. You construct your garden kind of one seed at a time, one cell, you know, of that plant. It grows at a time, and it's just sort of, it's stacking the wins. That's exactly what the 8 of Pentacles is. Giving something the right attention, the right details, and continuing to give it all the blood, sweat, and tears that it needs. Kind of like a Little Shop of Horrors type of thing, but giving it everything that it needs for it to grow, you know? And I think that whatever this path is, it's kind of saying, feed me, Leo, you know? And this is you feeding it with one more step, one more try, one more session, one more practice, one more math problem, one more day. It's kind of like saying, okay, you feel like you're terrible at math. Can you go just do one more class? Can you go one more time? And you say, fine, I'll go one more day. I'll go to one more night class math, you know, at the community college. Well, you do that every day. And pretty soon you've stacked up, you know, a lot of wins. You've stacked up a lot of progress. So this is that urging from inside of you that says, just go do it one more time. Okay? Take that step forward. And yeah, maybe you've made some mistakes. You feel like you haven't really been good at it. I understand the feeling of being really excited to do something, right? Being really, really excited. I kind of think that should go over there. Being really excited to do something, and then I'm just not good at it. Like, that kind of is very disheartening, you know? I really wanted to learn how to play bass, you know? And I love the bass. I feel like my fingers can do it. I do it on the table anyway. But then I pick up a guitar and I'm just like, what is this thing? Or a bass, you know? I pick it up and I don't know what to do with it. And it just feels like I'm bad at it, you know? When I am. But that's where the Princess of Swords really kicks in, because you need to give yourself permission to be bad at something. Everybody's bad at something until they get good at it. Very few people are just born knowing how to play bass. There's a couple people, okay? I'm sure you can name them. But most of us, anything we want to do in life, we've got to practice. We weren't born being good at walking. The only thing we're good at doing as babies, probably crying, right? So it's kind of like that now. Like, that's kind of a natural thing. We're good at lamentation. But if we want to get good at the things that make us feel good, at the things that bring us joy and bliss and connection and whatever this is for you, we got to practice. We've got to give ourselves permission to fail at it. Okay? So anyway, the Seven of Pentacles is that failure. And I think the Princess of Swords is you forgiving yourself for not even, see, and that upsets me a little bit too, because we shouldn't have to forgive ourselves for failing. We shouldn't have to give ourselves permission to fail, because it's part of the path. Why do we need forgiveness for something that's a natural thing? You know, I'm trying to learn a new skill. I'm trying to take jujitsu, or you're trying to learn how to fly, or you're trying to learn how to scuba dive. You're trying to learn math, whatever it is. You don't need forgiveness. You don't need to forgive yourself or give yourself permission to start out not really knowing the thing, because it's the natural way of life, right? I mean, you have to travel the road if you're going to get to the destination. But anyway, this is that failure, or that I got the wrong answer, you know, you didn't do so well on the test, that sort of thing. Okay. The Ace of Swords is, of course, well, and now see what we could do is we could put this over here too, because the Queen of Cups is kind of the result of that feeling. Okay, it is the feeling as a result of that event. But the Ace of Swords at the top, this is what we're searching for. We want clarity. We want some kind of divine light coming in to tell us that this is where I am supposed to be. Because when we run into a Seven of Pentacles, guess what? It very often makes us question if we should even be here. It's saying, okay, this is an obstacle. This is something that I tried to do and I got the wrong answer. Is this Spirit's way of telling me I suck? Is this Spirit's way of telling me I should be doing something else? I don't think it is necessarily. Sometimes it is. But how do you really know? You know, how do you know if the obstacle in front of you is the obstacle you're supposed to overcome and keep going? Or if it's literally a roadblock from Spirit saying, hey, no, this isn't your path. Get out of here. This isn't for you. How do you know? How do you have the discernment to know the difference between that? Okay. Well, I think you keep going and you wait and see what happens. What you're searching for is that clarity. Okay, the Ace of Swords is raising our spiritual antenna and receiving the cosmic rays in through our crown chakra into our mind to give us the information. Okay, and I think that is exactly what's happening, and that's over here on the path of the serpent. Okay, I think what you're perceiving here is everything from this side of the table. Yeah. The Ten of Cups is the future. It is the future that you're looking for. You want that satisfaction. You want to drink and feel like your thirst is quenched. You want to feel like you have found water. You've struck gold, you know. And the Queen is kind of like at the end of the day sitting there saying, I don't know if there's any water here at all. You know, there's water all around the Queen of Cups, right? But she's holding that one Ace of Cups, saying, I don't care about all that other water. I want to know if there's water in here, in this particular cup. If this is the path that has fulfillment for me. Because there's fulfillment everywhere out there, but is this one mine, you know? And the Ten of Cups, I think, is confirming that, yeah, where you're going, the road you're on is going to lead to happiness. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's school, at home, at work, it's a career thing, it's a creative thing, it's a friendship. It doesn't matter what it is. What matters is how and why you're doing it. Okay? And I think what matters here is that you keep doing it. Now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent. Okay? As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. It's very important that you subscribe to the channel here and become part of our temple and, light your lamp. Okay? The Knight of Pentacles is your general energy. This is you looking into the future and considering what that future might look like. Okay. The Knight is always looking into the distance and kind of seeing the mountain that's in front of you and realizing that it's uphill, for one thing, right? Realizing that it's uphill. And also realizing that there is not necessarily a summit. And it might be, if you look at that card, you can't see the top of the mountain. It may be that this mountain goes on forever. And so we can't put all of our faith in some future point. Well, if I suffer enough now, eventually I'll be in bliss, right? If I keep slaving away at math, eventually it's going to feel good. Eventually I'll enjoy it, right? We can't just imagine that one day it's just going to click and we're suddenly going to be happy. So I think part of the lesson here is on this journey, we have to find a way to really enjoy it as we're doing it, and not imagine that that in some future we'll have all of this joy. But in the meantime, we just have to sort of, we just have to trudge through the mud here until we get to this destination. Because I don't think that is really a destination, because it kind of is saying like, look, if that's how we're looking at life, that summit, that fulfillment is never going to come. We have to find a way to experience that here. The Six of Cups in the present moment, feeling good about what we're doing while we're doing it, even when there's ups and downs, even when sometimes we get the wrong answer, but finding a way to really enjoy the situation that we're in. Okay? We need something to quench our thirst now and not put all of our hope, all of our stock into some ideal future. Especially if there is no summit to the mountain. And let's say you're learning to play guitar or bass or something, right? When do you start enjoying it? When you get to a certain level, when you've mastered it? You never master anything. I mean, even the greatest bass players, I don't know, Geddy Lee, Les Claypool, I don't know, there's some others, I'm sure. I don't know all their names. I would kind of assume they're masters to some degree, right? But I feel like they're still learning too. They're still practicing. They're still making mistakes. But when do you think they actually started enjoying playing bass? Or doing math? Or building buildings or whatever people do? When do we start having fun? I think the Six of Cups is us really finding the enjoyment in what we're doing while we're doing it, even in the successes and the failures, finding pleasure in the path. Okay? Finding pleasure in the path is a way to continue going. Now, I think that you are getting some positive feedback from somebody. You are getting those smaller wins. And really, this is saying, hey, the failures, learn from them. The wins, cherish them, feel them, drink all the water there, So that's kind of, I feel like that's exactly what we are kind of doing with these cards here. The Princess of Swords is learning from the mistake, and the Six of Cups is really finding pleasure in the progress and in the wins and in the journey itself. Because you're going to get failures. Use them for what they're good for. Extract the lesson. The wins, extract the pleasure. Okay? And I think that kind of motivates you to continue going on this path. So maybe we'll put that right there too. But the Knight of Pentacles is looking into that future and realizing that it's an uphill climb, and that if I don't like climbing, why am I going up that way? Sometimes the summit of the mountain only exists to justify the climb, And so I think a big question here is, how can you find more joy in what you're doing? And maybe it is something that's really not fun, like math. Find joy in those moments where you get it, or where you're doing it with a friend or something and you're getting good feedback. And find something that you can hold on to that makes you feel good about doing it. You know what I mean? Find the most joy you can when you do get the right answer. Okay? Learn your lesson from the wrong answers, but then really celebrate when you get the right answers. Yeah. The High Priestess in your environment here, in your relationships, your High Priestess is always trying to lead you to your best life. Okay? She's always trying to keep you on the right road to get to where you really want to be, your beautiful life, your best life, your Emerald City. Okay? And I think that you will be receiving more confirmations from the world around you that you are on the right path. You will be receiving some kind of accolades or some kind of a good job kind of thing from the universe. Okay? I think that you're going to get a lot of positive feedback that reinforces the path you're on. I think the High Priestess is also trying to lead you to a Hierophant. And the Hierophant is in a position, now this is your intuition, okay? This is the light coming in from the sun, from the star, being reflected, okay? Because what is the High Priestess but the full moon? What is the full moon but reflected starlight with no shadows, right? So the reflected starlight is coming into your antenna here. It's coming into your mind and to give you that clarity, to give you that certainty and that truth. Coming from your true self, or coming from the star, your star, the sun, right, is a star, being reflected through your intuition, through your heart-mind sort of function, into your conscious, acknowledgement. The High Priestess is leading you places that sometimes you don't want to go. And that's kind of what she does. She'll lead you through the briar patch. She'll drag you over the coals. She'll lead you over the river and through the woods, right? She's going to lead you to a Hierophant. And the Hierophant is in the position of your fear, worry, concern, a fear of the obstacle. This is the position of what you do not want. And I think that Spirit is trying to put you in touch with somebody, a mentor, some kind of a support, some kind of the right teacher for you. And I wonder if in this situation you're trying to just like teach yourself, rather than accepting like, okay, I'm the Princess of Swords, I'm the white belt, I am the neophyte, I'm the apprentice, I don't know anything. I'm open to learning, I kind of feel that you have a little bit of a stubbornness about you where you are going to try to figure it out yourself. But the Hierophant here is here to remind you that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are other people that have already figured this out. Learn from them. If somebody's here willing to give you instruction, listen, open up your ears, clean out your eyes, and take the information and receive that in a way that is humble and open, and not defensive. It's not anybody attacking you or trying to tell you that you're wrong or that you're doing things incorrectly. Someone's trying to show you the right way to do it because they see something in you. If you didn't attract the attention of the Hierophant, then there's no potential there. The Hierophant sees potential and says, okay, let me help you to bring that potential out. So if you didn't attract the attention of the Hierophant, it would mean that they didn't see anything in you. Okay? The Hierophant wants to get involved with you and give you instruction or give you some kind of a knowledge lecture or some kind of a just some tips, because they see something in you, because they see a potential in there. Maybe they see the motivation, maybe they see the tenacity, maybe they see the talent that's in there that just needs to be refined. Okay, and I think this is going to be a literal person. I don't think it's going to be a Taurus person necessarily, but it could be. But I feel that, your intuition, the circumstances of life, the synchronicities of life, right? The High Priestess is just going to put you in touch with somebody that may be able to really assist you in this path, whatever it is that you're doing. And I think that is going to give you a lot of that reinforcement that you need here. It's going to kind of confirm that, wow, okay, this Hierophant sees something in me. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, right? Sometimes I think that's very literal. I think when you're ready to really truly learn, and when you know that you've got something there, the teacher will appear and will help you to bring that out of yourself. The teacher's not going to waste their time on you if they didn't think you could actually do it. Okay? So I think that's going to give you a little peace of mind, a little bit of the Four of Swords there, a little bit of rest. You're not going to have to worry about this. You're going to know that, okay, this is the right path for you. Now what you have to do is be receptive to the knowledge. Be receptive to the instruction. Okay? And of course, the devil is your hunger, your eagerness. You're motivated. Okay? And you're going to continue climbing that mountain. You've got double Capricorn energies here. I would watch the Capricorn reading if I were you. The sun here at the end, well, this is your light shining. This is, I think, you kind of achieving full confidence, full illumination on this path. In a way, becoming a master, but realizing that the journey never really ends. There's always more to learn. There's always more to do, more ways to grow, more creativity to sort of express. I feel like this is a lot of success. This is a lot of joy, okay? And I feel like this is what really wants to happen. And this, I think, is like, this is you really, like, getting it and doing it, you know? Your light is shining, and I think that this is what we're trying to kind of like, this is what we're trying to dig out of ourselves. In all this earth, this is the gold that you're finding in all of your exploration of this earth energy. That's the gold, okay? So I feel like you're getting a big win. I feel like you're stacking up these little wins and you're going to continue climbing the mountain. This is kind of you getting to the top of the mountain, realizing that there's more mountain to climb, okay? But feeling as if this is your true nature and you are expressing it in a beautiful way that's just kind of like, it's just flowing out of you. Okay, maybe it is math, maybe it is music or something like this, or I don't know, anything else that you're trying to sort of learn or sort of get good at, yeah? Let's look at the mystery card. What is this mysterious key from the Codex? Well, since we have our High Priestess leading us to our best life, and we have a 10 of Cups, maybe this will be the 10 of Pentacles, or it will be the Empress. If you have a prediction, I want you to put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. You know, it's a 10 of Wands. It's a lot of work. Getting up the mountain is going to require that tenacity, that strength, that push, okay? And I think this is really nice because we started out, well, we have kind of like the initial motivation, like, well, I got a good idea here, and I want to do it. Okay, and so this is like that enthusiasm at the very beginning, but now we have all 10 of the Wands, which is saying, okay, I'm motivated, and I know that it's a lot of work, and I'm motivated to keep putting in that work because I think you're getting a lot of really positive feedback. You're getting a lot of those 6 of Cups moments, okay, where somebody is giving you recognition, maybe you're getting praise, maybe you're feeling good about yourself because you're getting that win, you're starting to see the progress, and I think it's building up power and force, and I think that you're just like pedal to the metal here, climbing up that mountain. So we're getting re-motivated. I think things are really going to pick up speed, okay? I think things are going to be changing a lot faster than you expected them to, okay? And you're going to be moving forward at a faster pace. Okay, moving forward at a faster pace. I like it. I think this is really, really good. Now, this transmission is going to continue beyond the gate. In the extended reading, we'll cast an I Ching hexagram, we'll draw from the oracle, and we'll open a new cluster of keys from the Codex. If you feel called to continue, the path is open. There's a link in the corner, and there's a link below this video. New transmissions for Leo on Mondays and Thursdays. So be sure to receive both. Subscribe if you haven't yet. It aligns your signal with the Dove current and ensures your next page in the Codex will find you. Leave a comment and let me know where along the spiral road you're tuning in from. It helps us to map the resonance of the temple. I want you to remember you are the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. The Codex reveals itself through you. I thank you, I love you, and we are all walking this path together.